going on, everyone? Scott here from the Breakevens, giving you another AFL Supercoach video for you today. We started with our player profiles. We will continue that today. We have Kane Farrell up today, which is a big talking point because of Dan Houston. So we'll get into that very shortly. Just a few quick things. Don't forget, you can find me on X at Breakevens Pod, on Facebook, The Breakevens, and here on YouTube, The Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe for all AFL Supercoach content, daily content, all the way to round one. And do not forget, you can you can join the Breakevens Open League on AFL Supercoach by using the code 266136. Again, 266136. Anyone's welcome. You join. We get a whole bunch of people. We fight it out and see who comes out on top. You love to see it. Let's get into Kane Farrell, shall we? So Kane Farrell, 445k on the dot as a defender. He averaged 82.6 Supercoach points last season, and that was his highest averaging season. As I alluded to, he has the potential to take Dan Houston's role. As we know, Dan Houston, gone to the Pies. Yes, Pie supporter. Very happy about that. But Port, they need someone who can kick the ball. And they're looking towards Kane Farrell potentially. So he had 85 kickings in 2024, and he played on from 82 of them. So there's only 3 times he didn't play on, which means he's maximizing his points, his AFL Supercoach points. We all know you play on from a kick in, you get Supercoach. You get the kick, you get the distance, the meters gained. Is it effective? Is it to a contest? You get it all. So 3 points there. He played 22 games with 800s, which is, for the role he was in, which wasn't, specific to, what Dan Houston did, which was your distributor out of defense. He took a decent amount of kick-ins, which helps. He had a high score of 115 against Fremantle and his lower score of 33 against the D's. And no, that was not a vest or injury affected. The big thing is it seems to be Kane Farrell versus Josh Sin to see who takes Dan Houston's role. Sin, they rate him rebounding defender / winger, booming left foot. He's quick. He's the future. He's been in the system, 3, maybe 4 years. It's time for him to take a step if he wants to make it in this Port Adelaide side. And this could be a great, way for him to do that. Houston's gone. They need someone. He's a big kick. He's pretty good by foot. I'll get into that very shortly. So who knows? Who knows? But Farrell, on the other hand, is that mature age guy who's been around, who's also looking to break out. An average of 82.6. It's decent, but at 445k, you're sort of picking him as a primo, so you need him to go 105, maybe even 110. Do you think he can do that? We don't know, but it's between Farrell and Sin for that Dan Houston spot. So the kick-ins was obviously Farrell with 85, and then there was Burton who had 59 in 2024. So it was shared between those two, with Farrell getting the higher amount. So what do I have here? I have the teams that Farrell will come up against twice this season and how they went last season. So they played the Crows twice. They have them twice again, and he had 2 low scores. They played the Pies once, and guess what? Another low score. Freo twice, 1 high score, 1 low score. And by high score, I mean 100 plus. And by low score, it's, 90 or less. Against the Cats, he had a low score in the one game. Now, he played the Hawks and the Swans twice, and they were both over 100. So these are the teams that they played twice: Crows, Pies, Freo, Cats, Hawks, and Swans. You feel like he can score well in all those games. Crows, it's always a tough contest. They're usually pretty inaccurate, so you can get some kick-ins. Pies, one of the worst kicking sides. Freo will be a tough one. Cats, you feel like he could probably get on top of. Hawks, tough matchup, but not always most reliable in front of goal. And the Swans, it's going to be tough. They usually maximize their points as much as they can. So he plays those two teams, all those teams twice. Now, I've got here, so he's priced at 82.5, and it's an awkward price of 445k. As I said, you will be picking him as a primo. So he's rated at 82. You want to go 105, which is 23 points more. Do you think if he takes the Dan Houston role, do you think he gets those 23 points? Well, seeing that Houston average was at 111 or something last season, the stats say, well, if he just takes his role and does what Dan Houston does, then yes, pick him. He's a primo. He's not Dan Houston, though. They want him to be Dan Houston, but he'll never be Dan Houston. He'll be Kane Farrell, and he'll do whatever he can do. Now, honestly, I think he's 100 to 105 average. If you're happy with that, then you can pick him. But I feel like at 100k less, you have Callum Mills, who could basically do the same thing. He can go 100 if he plays pure mid. He can go over 100 if he plays pure mid. Got Gideon Coleman at 268k, who can go 95, and you can save 200k there. I'm not saying don't pick him. I'm just saying watch and see what happens in preseason. Now, I do know that the last couple of match sims, he's sat out and he's been in the rehab group, so he's not fit at the moment. I'm not sure what's wrong. They haven't really disclosed anything, but I do know he's on a slight modified program, and he's not been involved in match simulation, where you have Sin, Evans, Atkins, and someone else who are all playing off that half back right now. And Sin is looking good so far. So I'm not saying don't pick him at all. Watch preseason. If he plays that role, and if you think he's going to score 105 and above, then pick him at that cheaper price. But for me personally, I'd probably just skipping for now. And don't forget, he does have that early buy as well, because he's playing round 0. So that is slightly annoying as well. But that's going to do it today for the Kane Farrell player review. A lot more coming. We did Max Gorn. Make sure you go check that out. We did all the team reviews, previews. Check those out. I did my January team update. Make sure you check that out as well. Subscribe to the channel. Daily Supercoach content. You need to look out for it. And ways you can do that is to go on X at Breakevens Pod, or on Facebook, The Breakevens. Like, follow, and subscribe on all social media platforms. I'll see you again tomorrow with another video. And until then, it's bye for now.